tell you one thing, now that we're in the summer months here in Al Ain, the views and the sunrise in the morning when I drive into work is beautiful. It's a great way to start the day. You can't see the sun, but you can see the silhouette of the Jebel Afit, and the sun is just coming down over the side there. Okay guys, how are we doing? Welcome back to another video. Now today, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the length of this term and the kind of things that we are now doing to round off the year and to finish the year and to have those final assessments of the children. Out here in the UAE, unlike in the UK, it is the longest term of the entire year. This term for us is 12 weeks long. Now, being in a British school, out here, even though we are in an international setting, our term dates are fairly similar to that of the UK. We get our half terms, we get our winter breaks, our spring breaks, but we don't get a half-term break in June. And the reason we don't is because we have a second Eid, which is kind of towards the end of June, that we do get. Now, unfortunately, it is not a full week. It tends to just be a long weekend. And according to my calendar here, it is covering the Monday and the Tuesday. So we'll have a 4-day weekend or a 4.5-day weekend, which will be nice. But it does mean that we effectively have a full 12-week term for the hottest time of the year in the lead up to the summer. And when I say the hottest time of the year, the weather has shot up. Now, as you will have seen from some of my previous videos, we have had some stints of quite bad weather this year. And because of that, it's meant that the average temperature leading into the summer has been quite cool. It's been quite comfortable. Whereas in the last 2 weeks, the weather has gone from sort of mid-30s and we're now in the high 40s. So you get in your car at the end of the day and it reads 48 degrees on your dashboard, and you sort of start sticking to the seat and the steering wheel becomes far too hot to touch. So it's getting hot. So the main things that we have to do between now and the end of the year. The first thing is we have progress tests. Now, we undertake GL progress tests, similar to Rising Stars and various other assessment platforms, and we do them every year. And they're done on the computer. The children have a maths, a science and an English paper to do, and this comes together to form our assessment. And obviously it's useful for the following year because you can see which children you're going to be teaching, and it also feeds into the reports. So we're doing those at the moment. This is our final week of doing them. We are now on week 8, so we've only got a few weeks left of the year, and the results come out. They then feed into our report writing, and that's our final assessments, along with obviously our teacher judgment and our internal assessments. And that's it. That's how we find out how well our children have done across the course of the year. And it is also that time of year where we have reports to write. So I'm midway through writing my reports. Now, the report structure that we have here, we have numerical grades for all of the subjects, for all of the children. We have progress grades as well, and we have learning attitude grades so that the parents get to see how well they've done, how well they've progressed, and their overall attitude towards that subject. We also give them individual targets so that they have like next steps. And then the final thing that we do is we write a sort of a pastoral or an overall comment, and this tends to be about a paragraph long. It's 100 words or so, 150 words, 200 words. And it just sort of is our opportunity to really express how the pupil has done throughout the year in our class. We talk about areas of strength, things that they could do perhaps better next year, and just talk about how they've been in class. I personally really enjoy doing this because it gives me the opportunity to reflect and really share my praise for the pupils in the class. But it does take a long time. Now, I have actually done a video on how I have been able to streamline my report writing using AI. I will try to find the video and stick a link down below. But basically, I use AI tools to help me. I think of a pupil, I think of all the areas that I want to talk about. I write that into AI and it generates a paragraph for me. And then all I do is I personalize it, I alter it. And yeah, it just kind of makes things a little bit easier. It means I'm not going back and forth, editing and changing and rewording sentences, because AI does it for me. Another thing that I am sort of currently preparing for is next year. Now, I know as we get towards the end of the year, the last thing we're wanting to think about is the new school year, because we're all quite tired and drained. We've had a long year and we want our break. But I'm very much also of the view that preparing for next year in advance makes the start of next year considerably easier, and it just means that you flow from one year to the next much more efficiently. So I have started looking at next year. I have started thinking about the long-term plans and the medium maps and all those kind of things. So that is also something that I have been working through. I've also been meeting up with my new team, and we've been kind of going through what we want to do at the start of next year. We've been looking at a little bit of the data of the children that are coming into the year so that we can at least start on the right foot. All right, guys, a few hours have passed since I was in school. It's been another very busy day today. Got a couple more busy days coming up with assessment writing for the kids. I'm going to have to then grade all of those assessments. They've still got some of the progress tests to do, and I'm still midway through writing reports. So there's a lot going on, and that's part of the reason why it is such a long term. And on top of all that, because I currently hold leadership positions within the school with the head of science role and so on, tomorrow and the day after, I've actually got a couple of leadership days where I'm not, well, I will be in school, but I won't be in school as such. We'll be working together with the leadership team, making plans for next year, making sure that we are in the right place to assess data and make sure that we are driving things forward, which would be great. It's good to be in a position that I am with that, and those are the kind of conversations I think that are going to make me think differently about teaching in the future, and being in the right room is always a good thing. So yeah, but very busy. We have got about 6 weeks left. Within those 6 weeks, like I say, I've got to finish all the assessments off. We do have a long weekend coming up. And then we've got the last 2 weeks of term. And to be honest, the last 2 weeks of term, as with any school, things kind of slow down a little bit. Being in an international setting, some children also go traveling with their families, and therefore we're never really sure how many children are going to stay in school until the very end of the year, which I guess kind of makes sense because travel is cheaper if you are able to book flights before the end of the school year. But either way, we've got a few weeks left, and then it is the summer holidays. Now, one benefit about this time of year is the summer holidays are coming up, and Daisy and I are going to get to book our summer trip soon. Now, I think the plan is that we're going to head back towards Asia again. We've done that for the last couple of years. I think what we're wanting to do is fly into Thailand, spend a bit of time in Thailand, just to sort of chill out, relax after what has been a long term. I think we're then going to aim to go to Laos, potentially Malaysia and Sri Lanka. We may well throw another country in there, but 4 in 6 weeks is quite a lot. So that's our plan. So I will be producing some travel vlogs, but just exciting times. So there you go, guys. This video was kind of just to give you a bit of an insight into how the final summer term is laid out, because it is a bit different to that of the UK and arguably other parts of the world. And if you're not used to it, doing a solid 12-week term, it's pretty hard going. But at the same time, there are also lots of rewarding moments because it is the last time that you're going to be with the kids. So you get to see all of their hard work put into practice. And I often find doing things like writing the reports and spending the last few weeks sort of reflecting on the year is also quite nice. But yeah, it is quite tiring. But there we go. Hopefully you found that video useful. Right, I'm going to end the video now, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.